I think I knew immediately it was incredibly ambitious. It was obviously reminiscent of the hallway scene in Series 1, and it's a kind of an homage to that scene. We're not trying to recreate it, we're trying to do something that pays it respect, but it also kind of ups the ante a little bit and you know, takes it to kind of new levels of uniqueness. I think we shot it over 2.5 days. It was an incredibly challenging 2.5 days. We get the actors at least get very little time for rehearsal, so I have to learn the whole fight on the day that we shoot it, which is challenging. And you know, I learn it in small pieces, you know, 5 or 6, 7, 8 moves at a time. And we film that over and over again, and then we move on to the next section. There's a precision necessary because it all takes place in one shot, so every little aspect of it has to be perfect. You can't cut out of it. You've got to be. I'm really proud of it. I think it's great, and Phil Silvera, Chris Brewster, my stunt double, those guys are geniuses.
I don't know if you noticed, but my work in that scene I thought was extraordinary too. I was knocked out, but I did have one arm that hung over Charlie when he was hanging me that I let flow sort of perfectly, I felt.
I think it might be your best work.
Yeah, it was some of my best work, I thought.
I think probably this, I imagine the stuff in the stairwell itself was pretty tough. And if you remember, there's without, again, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a guy who goes through down at one point, and that was very, very complicated. Because what you have to remember is it's not just the filming, it's not just the actual doing of the fight, but as we go down the stairwell, somehow, some way, there has to be a camera crew following us, and it's a stairwell. So it was incredibly tight quarters, and you know, it took a lot of like rehearsal time, not just for the actors, but also for the camera crew. No injuries. I mean, you know, the guy who went down the middle, I mean, we lost him sadly, but you know. No injuries.
You know, in all of the trailers, there's always a dragon that flies over the Red Keep.
Doesn't mean that it's any less dark for poor little Theon, but I guess you're just gonna see the